In this week's episode of Pop Culture Weekly, I talk with the cast of Hulu's Interior Chinatown, including the amazing Taika Waititi, who I love so much. And I talk with the cast of Sidelined, the QB and Me, including Deborah Cox and Noah Beck. Let's go!
Welcome to Pop Culture Weekly with Kyle McMahon from iHeartRadio. Your pop culture news, views, reviews, and celebrity interviews on all the movies, TV, music, and pop culture you crave weekly. Here's Kyle McMahon.
Hello and welcome to Pop Culture Weekly with Kyle McMahon. I, of course, am Kyle McMahon, and I thank you so much for hanging with me for another episode of Pop Culture Weekly. So in this episode, it's all about the series Interior Chinatown on Hulu and the new film Sidelined, the QB and Me, starring Noah Beck. These are two great projects, two different projects, but great projects, and I think you'll enjoy them both. We're going to start off with Interior Chinatown. So imagine a world, if you will, for a moment, where your life feels like a script. And every day you're playing a role that someone else has written for you. Well, welcome to Interior Chinatown, a really groundbreaking TV series that blends sharp social commentary with humor, drama, and, a touch of the absurd. I love that. It's based on Charles Yu's award-winning novel, and it explores the life of Willis Wu, a Taiwanese-American actor stuck in Hollywood's endless loop of stereotypical roles like, quote, generic Asian man, unquote, and, quote, kung fu guy, quote, end quote. But this is more than a showbiz satire. It's actually a deeply personal exploration of identity and family and the invisible systems that shape how we see ourselves and other people. So as Willis begins to question this script that society has essentially handed him, the series takes viewers on a journey of self-discovery that is equal parts heart-wrenching and really, really hilarious. It's got a unique storytelling format, a stellar cast, and it really just challenges conventions and invites us to rethink the narratives that we live by, which is really important to me and I think to all of you. So basically, Willis Wu, he's a background character stuck in a police procedural drama that's called Black and White. And then one day he accidentally witnesses a crime. And as he investigates, he starts to uncover family secrets and this whole Chinatown criminal underground, while learning how it feels to be in the spotlight himself. It's really, really great. I love the show. It's funny. And Taika, what? I love him. So, in any event, let's start off with the interviews from Interior Chinatown. We're going to start with Ronny Chieng and Chloe Bennet. Ronny plays Fatty, who is Willis's best friend and coworker at the Golden Palace, which is like the restaurant he works at. And then Chloe is Detective Lana Lee, who is a detective who recruits Willis to investigate the disappearance of his brother. So let's talk with Ronny Chieng and Chloe Bennet.
Thank you both for joining me. I really appreciate it.
Kyle.
iHeartRadio.
That's so
there you go.
impressive.
Thank
I'm
you.
not going to try that.
So, first of all, congratulations to both of you on the project. Interior Chinatown is so awesome. It's so funny and layered and smart. And I wondered what drew you to the project, both of you.
Well, there was this thing, for some reason, I just got sent the book, I think because I'm Asian. They were just like, send it to the Asians. And I did just get the book at my doorstep, literally in 2020. And it had really good packaging. There was little treats in there.
Oh, okay.
So I read it and I immediately, I think anyone, it was it felt like someone had dug out the inside of my brain and was able to really organize and in a much more intelligent way, kind of regurgitate thoughts that have been kind of like stagnant in my brain since I can remember, and that was Charlie Yu. And I actually had to stop reading it because I thought, I remember, because obviously it's in script format, the novel, and I thought, man, they're going to make this into a show eventually, and if I don't get cast in this, I have to quit acting, because if I can't play this character, then I shouldn't do anything. And so the stakes, for some reason, I made them very high for myself right away, and so it immediately spoke to me, and I guess that's what drew me to it.
I love that. And how about for you, Ronny?
What drew me to it? The book is it's very uniquely written. To my ignorant brain, it doesn't follow traditional story structure, which is very interesting to me. And it starts as a screenplay and speaking to actors. So when I read it, as someone who I'm lucky to get small roles in stuff in show business in America. So obviously it spoke to me as someone who was kind of in the background of stuff, I read it and I was kind of the opposite of Chloe. I was like, there's no way they can make this into a show. It's too complicated,
Yeah.
So I wasn't even thinking about the TV show. I was like, man, this book is really cool. I wish more people could read it. So
yeah, that's super interesting. And have you ever felt in your lives like a background character in your own life?
Oh, hell yeah, man. Do you want to go?
No, you.
I mean, yeah, for me, it's a lot of the themes that, I think I struggle with in my life, or something, and that we mirror on the show with Lana is, mixed race identity, which we play a lot with in the show, very literally, also not so literally, but being mixed. And I think a lot of being a woman, even as I'm introduced in the show, it's all through the male gaze. She's put on this pedestal, and she's assumed, there's a lot assumed about her because of something
Intentionally,
which we're all very aware of on the show. And I think that's a beautiful metaphor for a lot of the ways that, I've had to navigate my career, because at the end of the day, I've been working for like 15 years and I've never been the lead of something. I've always been the female lead. So it's a different thing. So there's always that kind of element as a woman. Yeah,
I think sometimes even in society, I mean, forget show business, sometimes in society, I think there's Asian people, Native American people, I'm sure Latinos feel that way. I don't want to speak for them. Pacific Islanders, you sometimes feel like you are a background character in the movie of America in real life. Sometimes your voice doesn't matter. Nobody cares what you think about anything. No one's like looking out for you in a way. So in that sense, yeah.
Yeah, that's so powerful. Thank you both for speaking with me. I can't wait for everybody to see Interior Chinatown exclusively on Hulu. Thank you both.
Thanks
for speaking to us.
Of course.
Thanks for watching it.
Ronny Chieng and Chloe Bennet. All right, moving right along. Next up, we have Lisa Gilroy and Sullivan Jones. So Lisa plays Sarah Green, who's a detective who leads the investigation of several crimes in Port Harbor, along with Sullivan Jones, who plays Miles Turner, who, works right along with her. This is a fun group, and I can't wait for you to hear my interview with them, Lisa Gilroy and Sullivan Jones.
Hi,
yeah.
Thanks for having us.
Of course. So first of all, congratulations on the series. It's so cool that I love how layered it is, and I love how meta it is in many ways. What attracted you to the project, or what attracted you to the project?
Yeah, definitely. I think on the front, especially for us, it kind of presents as this cop procedural, which is very fun, especially for someone like me who is a comedian and doesn't ever get to say serious things or touch a gun. No one has ever allowed that before in the history of time. So that's very fun. But then when you look closer at the story, there's so many different stories going on, and it's not always what you think. So I think that's titillating, if I'm allowed to say tits.
You can. How about for you, Sullivan?
Aside from being titillating, which doesn't have the word tits in it, but
yes, it's titillating.
Yeah, aside from being titillating. No, I read it the first time and I was like, wait, what is happening? and then I had to read it again, and I feel like that's typically a good thing when you're like, let me read this again to find out exactly what's being rendered. And yeah, and Taika was involved,
Yeah.
Lisa's involved,
Sullivan's involved,
and I'm involved,
Charlie is involved,
and now you're involved.
now you've actually been implicated.
You're implicated.
Yeah. Met in a meta way, I guess I kind of am now.
Yeah.
So, and then for you both, and Sullivan, we can start with you, and then we'll go back, because apparently I'm really bad in going in order. But did you, as an actor, do you get the same joy reading it as like a viewer does from watching these things unfold, especially because there's some unexpected turns and that sort of thing? Or do you view it as from a lens of, okay, this is who I would be, or do you kind of get to fanboy over it too?
I think you totally fanboy over it, and then once you decide to help make it, then you kind of drop into like, all right, what's my role and how do I participate? But I think the fanboying is like what draws you in the first place.
And how about for you, Lisa?
Well, for me, I get a script, I read just my lines and nothing else.
Really?
And then, yeah.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding. I would read the whole thing. That's the temptation, because you just want to be like, what do I get to say?
Right.
Actually reads the lines to her. She actually looked at the script the whole time.
It's really hard not to just get too excited about the things that you get to say, but the whole story is so juicy and delicious. And I feel like on set we would get, we'd get the scripts ahead of time before shooting the episodes, and we would come to set and it would be like we had all just watched an episode of our favorite show the night before. Like, can you believe that happened? Or you said this, or you did this, or so and so's pregnant.
That
never happened.
Not even, yeah. But it was that kind of energy, like, whoa, whoa.
Yeah. And finally, have you ever felt like a background character in your own life?
Right now. Being next to Lisa Gilroy right now.
Stop. Yeah, I definitely have. I feel like, especially because I came up in comedy, and it sometimes in the early days would kind of feel like the boys got to mostly be the main characters, and women were more supporting, especially in improv. I don't know. Sometimes how could I keep ending up as the wife or the dog in every scene? So maybe like supporting character, I feel like is big for women, but definitely been there.
And how about for you, Sullivan?
I feel like in certain family dynamics, I'm like, guys, what about me? Just because I'm the youngest, like, can I get some respect, please? I'm not going to call anybody out, but you know who you are if you ever see.
That's why he grew so tall, to get attention.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
That was my comeback, was to be 6'4" and be like, yeah, now I can dunk on you in the backyard basketball game.
And see, I'm 5'7" and an only child, so it all tracks. You know what I mean?
Nice. Also an only child. So
really.
Yes. Yeah.
And
okay.
I'm 5'8", because everyone's said their heights now, and I felt left out.
I love this. Thank you both so much for speaking with me. I can't wait for everybody to see exclusively on Hulu. You guys are awesome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Nice to meet you.
You as well. Have a great day.
Lisa Gilroy and Sullivan Jones. All right, moving right along with the interior Chinatown cast, we have Archie, Cal, and Zima. So Joe Wu is Archie's father, and he's appeared in shows like The Man in the High Castle, 24, films like Rush Hour 3, The Farewell, Kung Fu on the CW. And Archie has been in Chicago PD, Power Rangers Lost Galaxy, and CSI. So let's talk with Archie, Cal, and Zima.
What's up, Carl? Hi.
So first of all, congratulations on the series. It is it's so much fun. It's layered. It's funny. What drew you both to the project?
It's such a thoughtful project. Such a, and I've said this earlier. It's I don't think the fundamental premise of it is simply just that they're Asian in Chinatown. Like it's an expression of their larger humanity and how it feels to be a background player in your life, and maybe not seen in all the ways that you want to be seen or feel like you would be able to be a contributor to your society at large. And when I saw the way that, it was just so well expressed in the novel, I just couldn't. I read it in one sitting, just I think like a lot of people. I couldn't resist it, and I made it my mission to hopefully be part of it, and I'm delighted to be sitting here talking to you about it right now.
Yeah, the book attracted me. I read the book first. A friend of mine sent it to me from New York. He said, "Man, dude, you got to check out this book." I said, "Okay, fine." So I got the book and I said, "Damn, this is good, man." And then I hear say, "Oh, guess what? They want to do a series." I said, "Really? Okay. I wonder how they're going to do it." I was intrigued.
Yeah.
Because it's, okay, how do you translate this beautiful book onto the screen, right? And then I started looking at the team that's putting this together. I said, all right, I think we got a chance. But you never know, right?
Yeah.
We commit ourselves to projects. Sometimes we scratch our head and go, damn, what the hell happened? You know what I'm saying? And now, you kind of go, wow, okay, whatever happened right. So
Yeah.
I'm very proud of it. Very proud.
As you should be. It is so well done, and no, and with the both of you contributing greatly to that. So, did you, as you're doing a project like this, as particularly this one, it's so meta. There's so many kind of tongue-in-cheek things that are obviously put there smartly and for a reason. Did you feel that as you were doing it? Like it was almost like I feel like being an actor in this project, it's almost like double meta because you're an actor playing these characters in a, you know what I mean? Is it that way for you when you were doing this?
It certainly was for me. Like I was trying to play detective work all the time. I think, and what you really love about it is with the team, like they were, Charlie and the producers were very open to like, let's talk about that. Let's see how this, and because it's a bold approach, right, to take. It's not as simple as the world of black and white, the procedural dramas, which I spent a great deal of my career in that world as well, so I feel very familiar with it. But this whole like world within a world, I just love that approach to it. And my particular character, I know that the media only got episodes 1 through 5, but I hope that you'll endure and see like it evolves into something more. And my character doesn't just yell at people. So
yeah, my experience is I never try to get ahead of myself. I get into a project, I stay in the moment, and I continue to explore, as we go, because I don't think that it's the advantage of not jumping the gun. I think it helps me stay in the moment. And we're discovering all of these processes together, with all the characters, me as dad, me as Sifu, and me as friend, and as husband, as the spouse. So all of those things are really helpful not to jump the gun and take the moment to moment as it comes.
I love that. Ty, Archie, thank you so much for speaking with me. I can't wait for everybody to see Interior Chinatown exclusively on Hulu. Thank you.
Woohoo!
Thank you.
Thank you.
Archie Cow and Zima. Love those guys. And don't forget, you can watch the video interviews, the video versions of these interviews on my socials, Pop Culture Weekly socials. So hit the show links and you can find them. Next up, I'm so excited. Taika Waititi and Charles Yu. So Taika is a New Zealand filmmaker. He's an actor. He's a comedian. He is best known probably for directing quirky comedy films. And he's received numerous awards, including an Academy Award, a BAFTA Award, a Grammy Award. He was named by Time as one of the 100 most influential people in the world just 2 years ago. He's written and directed Boy, Thor Ragnarok, which I love, Thor Love and Thunder, Hunt for the Wilder People, Jojo Rabbit, What We Do in the Shadows, Next Goal Wins. He's amazing. And Charles Yu is an American writer who wrote the original novel, Interior Chinatown, that this is based on. He's also written How to Live Safely in a Science Fictional Universe and In 2007, he was named as a 5 under 35 honoree by the National Book Foundation. And Interior Chinatown, the novel, won the National Book Award for fiction in 2020 upon its release. So let's talk with Charles Yu and Taika Waititi.
Thank you both for speaking with me. I really appreciate it.
Kyle, it's a pleasure just to hear your voice. That is a radio voice, and that is a beautiful voice you've got.
Thank you. You sound like my parents. They always said I had a voice for radio. So,
No, I'm not doing that. I didn't ask to be born.
I was like, I want to be a model, and they were like, no, you should do radio. So, but first of all, congratulations to both of you for this. It's so fun and great and layered, and it really is a great project. Charles, if I may start with you, this was your conception from the start. What, first of all, inspired you to write the book, and then what made you decide, hey, I want to take this, to the screen?
My parents inspired me. They wanted me to be a doctor, and I failed at that, so I wrote a book instead. I think the idea of getting to do it for screen was just a dream come true. And then Taika signed on, and they said, let's make a show. So it was kind of...
That's it. That's the whole story.
That's how it works. Yeah.
Just like that.
It just took 12 years.
Yeah. Just a very quick 12 years. And for you, Taika, you obviously you have your hand in so many things, which I love all of them, by the way. But why did you say, this is a project that I want to EP, I want to be involved in, I want to help bring this to the world?
I always like to get involved with. I'm always attracted to things that make me really nervous, that make me feel like I could ruin this for everyone. I was like if I was qualified for this, so I felt like, oh, that's like an interesting challenge. And also I just love, I love the idea behind it, and coming from New Zealand and feeling often that I come from a culture of people who are, considered on the outskirts of the conversation and in the margins. This spoke to me greatly, so I've really wanted to participate, and basically I felt like I wanted to help. And now I'm reaping the rewards.
Have you ever felt like a background character in your own life?
Interestingly, I always felt I was a bit like the Truman Show. I always felt like everyone was put on Earth for my entertainment, but then I would find out in reality through just I started off in doing various things before as a director, like acting and stuff, and it was through acting that I realized, oh yeah, this is my destiny, to be a background character, just to be like the best friend character, or just to be someone who kind of comes in now and then and was never at the front. So I felt that all my life as an artist.
And how about for you, Charles?
Yeah, I think, going back to sort of my parents as they immigrated to the US, and I think watching them try to assimilate and learn the rules of basically a new world. That's what I watched growing up, is getting, seeing through their eyes sort of what it looks like when you're sort of not seen, I guess. And I think that just informed a lot of the things that I'm attracted to, and including Taika's films. I mean, starting with Boy, I think just this kind of innocence, and there's this just amazing ability to have empathy and heart in his films. And so I think working with him was really inspiring, and that's just something I'm always looking for in my own writing, is that kind of perspective.
I love that. Thank you both. You're both a joy to talk to, and
you are the joy to talk to.
Thank you. I very much appreciate it. I can't wait.
Say goodbye, Taika, in that dulcet tone.
Yeah. Goodbye, Taika. Goodbye, Charles.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you both. I can't wait for everybody to see Inside Chinatown exclusively on Hulu. Thank you.
Thanks, dude.
Take care.
Much.
Charles Yu and Taika Waititi. I can't believe I talked to Taika Waititi and Charles Yu, but Taika is I'm a huge fan of his work and him. And he said my voice is sexy and amazing. Taika Waititi. Taika. Okay.
Thank you so much, Jimmy, for speaking with me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you for coming through.
Of course. So first of all, congrats on Interior Chinatown. I love it. It is so layered and so funny and much deeper than it seems on the surface. What attracted you to the role and the
First of all,
project?
the script, when I first got the script, it was amazing. And then I read the book in like one day. I'm usually not the fastest book reader. So I really resonated with the story, being an Asian American and oftentimes feeling a lot of the things that, Willis felt in his kind of weird world. But at the same time, it's exactly what you're saying. It's all the unexpected stuff. I love surprising my audience, whether it's things that they don't think I can do, right? Like doing drama, or doing a rom-com or, doing some martial arts. But at the same time, also, I also love being funny, so I get to kind of do all of that and go through a whole gamut of work on the show. I get to be funny on Tuesday, kick some ass on Wednesday, be sore on Thursday, and then I have to cry in a scene on Friday. So that was quite a challenge, but, very rewarding for me. And that was something that I really was excited to take on.
I love that. And did as you're reading the script and the book, are you able to, I'm always interested in if an actor is able to kind of fanboy over, like, do you get the enjoyment when you're reading it the first time as I do, or another viewer might watching it the first time? Or do you look at it from a lens of like, okay, this is potential work, this is potentially my character, that sort of thing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that's a great question. I do two reads. I try to read it as just an audience, a fan first. And if I find it entertaining and if it resonates with me, and then I read it again, putting myself in the shoes of the character that I might play. And this one, it all hit me at once because it was such a good story and a good book and a good script. And at the same time, I was like, man, this Willis character, it might have been based on me. That's how much I related to him. He started off stuck in the background and then got bit parts and then became the tech guy, which is what he was allowed to do, which is what I did on Silicon Valley for many years. And then leading up to now, I'm not going to give too much away. But I just absolutely resonated to it as an actor, as an Asian American, and also just as a fan. There's mystery, there is a weird procedural in the center of it, there's beautiful family drama, there's almost like a will they won't they thing, and there's action and comedy. So how could I not love it?
Yeah, I love how meta it is. You know what I mean? It's very self-aware, but not but smart. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
And
like not hitting you over the head with it, right?
exactly.
It's not like a scholarly essay, although that message is in there somewhere. But first and foremost, it's just entertaining and like very different in a way.
Mhm.
Like I hope it's something that it's unlike anything anyone has seen before.
It is. I think everybody's going to love it. I absolutely love it. Interior Chinatown. Thank you so much, Jimmy, for speaking with me. I can't wait for everybody to see it exclusively on Hulu.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
Thank you, sir.
So in any event, Interior Chinatown is available exclusively on Hulu right now. I highly suggest you watch it. And I want to know what you think about it. Hit me up on socials, or if you're using the free iHeartRadio app, you can hit the talkback button and it's free. It sends me a voicemail with whatever you want to say, and I just might feature you on the show. Or if you go to podcast.popcultureweekly.com, there's a button there that you can do it as well. All right, we're going to take a quick break and pay the bills from our amazing sponsors before we come back and talk to the cast of Sidelined, the QB and me, including Deborah Cox, Siena Agudong, and the one and only Noah Beck. We'll be back in 60. Welcome back. Thank you for supporting Pop Culture Weekly and our sponsors that make the show what it is, that make the show possible, that make us, help us to continue to grow every single week with you. I love you. Thank you for hanging out with me. All right. So Sidelined, the QB and me this film is exclusively available on Tubi. It is a heartwarming sports drama that combines the thrill of football with the deep emotional resonance of personal growth and connection. At its core, Sidelined, The QB and Me is a film about overcoming challenges, forging unlikely friendships, and rediscovering one's purpose. It stars Grammy-nominated singer and actress Deborah Cox, whose magnetic presence anchors the film as Coach Olivia Green, a former athlete turned high school coach with a knack for inspiring those around her. And she is joined by Siena Agudong, playing Lucy Rivera, a fiercely determined student whose love for football shakes up the traditional team dynamics, if you will. And then completing this cast is social media superstar Noah Beck, who has stepped into the role of Jason Carter, the charismatic quarterback whose journey from ego-driven to maybe team-oriented provides some emotion to the film. It is funny, it's got heart and drama. It's not just a story about sports, honestly. It's a celebration of resilience and teamwork and the power of believing in yourself and others. So we're going to start with the one and only Deborah Cox, singer, songwriter, producer, actor. She has been in show business since age 12 and signed to Arista Records under Clive Davis. And she had that amazingly huge song, Nobody's Supposed to Be Here. How did you get here? Nobody's supposed to be here. Anyway, Deborah Cox is so awesome. And let's just jump right into it. She's been in films like Love Come Down, Influence, Love on Layaway. She's been in on TV, Nash Bridges, First Wives Club, Station 11, and now is starring in the new Tubi film Sidelined, The QB and Me. Let's talk to her, Deborah Cox.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. So, first of all, tell me what drew you to the role of Miss Alicia?
What drew me to the role of Miss Alicia? I was thrilled about playing the role of a dance teacher, someone who is a mentor. I loved the characters. I really wanted to work with director Justin Wu. I loved the script. There were so many things to love about it, and I just dove in.
Were you familiar with the Wattpad at all?
I was not.
Okay.
No, I wasn't familiar with it at first, and then I did sort of a deep dive on the book and read the script and kind of checked out the differences and how things were interpreted. And I just love the storytelling. I love that it was this heartwarming love story between these two, passionate, kids who love, dance and the sports world, and those worlds colliding and romance mixed in it all and stuff. It was just like the perfect combination of like all things that I actually love when I want to see a movie.
I love that. And for you, as you're reading, a script, are you reading it through the lens of I am Miss Alicia, or are you reading it like first as let me read the script and see how the story plays out? Like, how does that process work for you?
Yeah, I read it as a fan of a romantic drama, and I read it from that lens. I love all the layers in it, the complexities of these relationships. Noah and his father, Siena and her brother, and her, just all of the tug of war that goes along with the story as you read more and more. And then you kind of understand why all of these characters are the way they are. So yeah, that part of me was really intriguing. That part of the story to me was most intriguing.
So you're able to kind of fangirl out and read it as somebody who enjoys, like you said, watching a romantic comedy or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I love stories. I love romantic dramas. I love drama. I love human behavior. I love watching people figure out and navigating complex relationships. Those kind of things, you know, when you see them on screen and it's done well, that kind of stuff I love.
Awesome. And was there a Miss Alicia for you in your life?
Oh yeah, yeah. My mother has been that person, that anchor, that person that was really exuded a lot of tough love and hard work and discipline, and instilled in me that if there's something that I'm passionate about, it's something that I want for my life, I got to go after it and go get it. No one else is going to be able to do that for me but me. So I came up with that kind of hard, hard work, attitude, very, very ambitious. And I think, when you are really passionate about something, it can be difficult to find romance and relationship because you're dedicating so much of your time and so much of your heart into the craft, to just get better. But then, you have to find ways to navigate around that.
Yeah, I've heard Stevie Nicks similarly say in interviews that she feels, especially as a woman, that she almost had to make a choice between a career and a traditional, life. And for her, it was her career, obviously,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's very, very true. I mean, in my early days, I fell in love before I became, a celebrity and became a recording artist. So I had the opportunity to really commit to making my relationship and my marriage work before kids, before all of that. And then it became our journey together as, a married couple. But it was very difficult to navigate. There were some days where I didn't want to be the artist. I wanted to just be, Deborah the person, and to find that balance. And, experience is the best teacher. It's not until you actually go through it that you know how to handle it, So yeah, there are in many ways I could relate to this story.
That's awesome. And then finally, what's next for you? Are we getting another more music? Are we getting another project? Where are you? Where can we expect for Deborah Cox?
I've been doing, a lot of musical theater these days. And then I'm going to revisit my music again and get back into the studio right after my vacation. Broadway was a lot. 8 shows a week was no joke. But I really just loved being on stage and having the Broadway, look. And then I got nominated for a Grammy, so got to celebrate that. But I love focusing on my wine business. I have a rosé business as well, Kazaisu, named after my 3 kids. And so I've been putting a lot of energy and emphasis into that.
Awesome.
Yeah, but I'll get back in the studio top of next year.
Sweet. And then come back on the show. I can't wait for everybody to see Sidelined exclusively on Tubi. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
Have a great day.
You too.
Thank you.
Take care.
Deborah Cox. Love her. Love that I got to talk to her. Love her in Sidelined. She's really great in Sidelined. I mean, she's really great in everything she does, but love her role and her in Sidelined. So, all right. Next up, we're talking to Siena Agudong and Noah Beck. Siena is best known for her role on the Nickelodeon series Star Falls, and the Netflix series No Good Nick, and Resident Evil. She also was recently in the Kevin Smith. I love Kevin Smith. She was recently in the Kevin Smith film, The 4:30 movie. And then there is Noah Beck. Noah is a multifaceted talent who has captured the heart of literally tens of millions as a social media sensation. He is an actor, and he rose to fame through TikTok, becoming one of TikTok's most recognizable figures, and he's earned a massive following from that. So let's talk with Siena Agudong and Noah Beck. All right. First of all, thank you, Noah and Siena, for speaking with me on Pop Culture Weekly at iHeartRadio. How you guys doing?
Great. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you so much. First of all, congratulations on the film. Tell me what drew you to Sidelined.
Yeah, I can take it. I think this project first came to me about a little over 2 years ago, which is crazy to think. It's been quite a process. But when I first read the script, I fell in love like immediately, and then I saw that it was adapted from a book, and so I was like, I need to read the book now and do a little bit of cross-examination here. And so after reading both, I was like, I want to be a part of this. What do I got to do? And yeah, it was just an immediate like love at first sight.
And how about for
sure.
you, Sienna?
I think I've never done anything like this. So of course there's always that excitement of doing something new and then growing from it. But obviously it's an adorable rom-com, and it's based on Tay Miley's book, Wattpad sensation. So it's an honor to be a part of and even being considered. But from an actor's point of view, I was so excited to do something new, and then also just to train and dance and work with Noam.
Of course. No. Yeah.
And for you, as you're reading the script, are you doing it through the lens of like, I will be this character in here, or are you reading it like as a fanboy or fangirl, or like a work, and you're just consuming the work, and then you go back later and you're like, okay, now let me redo it? Like, what's your process for that?
That is such a cool question. I've never been asked that. I think that I never thought through that, but I believe I always read the script as myself already. Like
it's interesting.
Like that person, that the role that I'm playing, it's never outside of myself at that point. If I get the script and I know which character I'm playing, then it's me at that point. Like I'm reading it and like I'm embodying it, and I'm like living that whole storyline beginning to end. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like
that's a great question. And I kind of to piggyback off Sienna here, I was trying to think of that as well. Like when I first read the script, obviously I knew the part that I was going for, and I knew the part that I was being considered for. And so I think subconsciously you try to kind of go into it not really being too biased, of being like, I didn't want to read the story and be like, okay, well, how's my part? I wanted to read the story in and of its entirety and be like, is this just a good script, and is it a good book, and is it something that I want to be a part of despite who like my guy is? And so yeah, that's a good question. But I think at first, kind of like what Sienna was saying, I read it knowing my role and being like, I think I automatically just place myself there, but try to keep just like an open mind and keep it broad and being like, is it a good story before is it a good role, if you will?
Yeah. I ask that a lot to people because it's interesting, because everybody kind of has a different process. Some people that I've talked to are like, I read it like dry first, just as a read through, and then I'll read it again as my character. And other people are like, I read it from the start. So it's always interesting to me to see
for sure,
creators or how they approach it. What's the craziest thing that you guys have done for love? If what you feel comfortable telling.
Oh boy. Love. Love.
Yeah, that's crazy in itself right there.
I might not answer that one.
Yeah, I'm drawing blanks, but I will say, like, I think that's a great answer. I think offering someone love, and it sometimes even can be unconditional love, like that in and of itself is terrifying, and that in and of itself is like, that can be identified as crazy as well. So yeah, that kind of falls into a lot.
Yeah, for sure. There's a book by Brene Brown called The Power of Vulnerability, and it's so dope. Vulnerable. It's such a dope book, and it's scary to like be vulnerable and be like, I love you, or whatever.
Terrifying.
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah. Finally, for you guys, you both have been in various projects in all in entertainment, but what is something that you have been able to like kind of look back and say, this is something that I would give up nothing for? You know what I'm saying? Like a sport or a career path or whatever, what's something that you've like kind of drawn a boundary for?
Family? Are you saying that?
Yeah.
Like, what can you put everything into that you would not?
Absolutely.
Sorry,
Yes.
rephrase the question, and I'm gonna see if I understand it again.
Yeah, I'm trying to be as spoiler free as possible as I say it, so I understand that's kind of like a weird way that I ended up saying it.
I love it.
But basically, like, is there something in your life that you were like, for instance, family? Like, there, I will never waver with family. Family always comes first, blah, blah, blah. Or football, or, whatever it is.
Right. Okay.
Then I'm gonna stick with family. I'm gonna stick with Hawaii. Like the two things that sort of are who I am. I don't. You take that out. I think I'm just a blank blank canvas. Yeah, that is just what I'm built off of, and it's nothing more humbling than that.
I love that. How about for you, Noah?
Yeah, following that, it'd feel a bit shallow if I said football
or soccer or something. Yeah,
exactly. I mean, shallow as it may sound, soccer was the most important thing in my life, like before acting, to be honest, and this entertainment space that I've kind of been thrusted into. And I think acting, I mean, not to get too far away from family, of course, for me, I'm a huge family guy. So that obviously is, we'll do anything for. And I think that is my answer. But going back to something a little bit more of, honing in on one thing, I think I will say acting has become something that is a very close second to my passion for soccer, which is what I did like my whole life. And kind of with the pandemic and everything kind of got like stripped away from me. I had to pivot, and then the pivot ended up becoming a new lifestyle and worked out. And now we're here. And I think having this been my first time on a set and answering all the questions about acting that I had going into it, I will say that acting has become a very just exciting new thing in my life that I've become very passionate about. And if the industry will have me, I'm stoked to be here, and I want to continue to do more projects.
Awesome. Thank you both so much. I can't wait for everybody to see Sidelined exclusively on Tubi. Thank you, guys.
That's right. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Have a good day.
Likewise.
Thank you. Siena Agudong and Noah Beck. Really, really, really love speaking with them. You can see them right now in the Tubi exclusive film Sidelined, The QB and Me. It's really great. Check it out. You won't regret it. And let me know what you think. Hit me up on socials or email me or use the talkback button on the free iHeartRadio app or the talkback button on podcast.popcultureweekly.com. And you just might hear yourself on the show. That's our episode for today. Now, that's our episode. Here's the end of our episode, whatever. And I'm looking forward to seeing you next week, where we have Sebastian Maniscalco return for his series Bookies and so much more. So I will see you for the next episode. I love you. See you next week. We out.
Thank you for listening to Pop Culture Weekly. Hear all the latest at popcultureweekly.com.
How did you get here? Nobody's supposed to be here. I tried to line it for the last time. My heart says no, no. Nobody's supposed to be here.